Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to some more World of Tanks and the Grom Marathon. Now, I am a video late, basically. That's because the previous video was kind of stuck in production hell for a whole day because most of the in-game soundtrack for World of Tanks got copyright struck. Well, actually, it's not most, it's one particular map. And, yeah, I then, removed the audio from that particular map, re-uploaded the video, and then the soundtrack from the other map got copyright struck as well, and blocked in some countries. Now, it's not the monetization. Honestly, I don't really care that much about it. Sure, it helps a little bit, but it's not enough for me to remake the whole video multiple times. No, but the fact that it was blocked in several countries, that's a bit of a problem. And so I, had to remove the in-game audio completely from the whole video, and then re-render it, re-upload it, so on and so forth, and that took the better part of the day, considering that... Really? Okay. Okay, well, yeah, sometimes we play with players that have a interesting definition of teamwork. Oh, what can you do? So anyways, yeah, that's what happened. Production hell, like I said, and it was a problem. And so the video that's going to come out now is supposed to have come out yesterday, and so on and so forth, but that doesn't matter too much. Basically, the reason I'm telling you this is you're going to see that I'm still playing the Grom Marathon probably a day after it ended, so yeah, I'm a bit behind schedule in terms of releasing the videos. So what's been going on? Well, essentially the polar opposite of what happened yesterday is happening today. Yesterday I had a problem with 30% win ratio. Today I'm on about 55, I would say, which is alright. It's not, perfect, but that's about my average, so fine. I went through stage 8. It was relatively alright, wasn't a big problem. And now I am doing stage 9, and I'm realizing slowly that I'm going to have probably a day left to do stage 10. And stage 10 is like a stage and a half. And so that's a slight issue. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get the marathon. It's a problem. But I woke up early today, and I intend on getting in a very large number of games, let's just say, and, see how it goes from there. I'm also, for the most of the day, I'm going to be playing tier 9s. Specifically, I'm going to be playing with this concept because, well, it's a tier 9 premium, which means money making is not going to be that big of a problem with it, and hopefully I can do the skill missions, so skip at least a chunk of the grind for this stage, but thing is, this stage requires you to be top on... Oh, that's a bit unfortunate. Requires you to be top on damage on your team 30 times. That's a lot. Like, 30 times is a lot. Are you going to be able to do it every single game? Definitely not. Are you going to be able to do it every other game? Oof, that's 60 battles, right? It took me around 50 for stage 8. Stage 9 is a little bit longer, so if I can do it every other battle, I'm gonna be, it's gonna be worth it. If I can't, I'm just gonna get it via base XP. So, it's gonna be tough. But like I said, I got up early. From what I understand and from what I've been told, I don't have much work to do, or any really, this weekend, so I'm going to be free to, conduct my activities as I see fit. And so, with that in mind, that's going to be a problem. You lucky shlucha, as they say. Okay, what if I close the gap on him? Never mind, I'm getting hit from behind because I have no support from... There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tanks trying to take out the 53 TP, and he decides to shoot at me. And you get into sort of problems like that, right? Because if you stay behind, not enough damage. If you go forward, you die. And I don't need to end up second on the damage list. I need to end up first. And yeah, anyways, I'm not going to get too angry at that. It's all right. So anyways, I've been playing that, and I've also been using a bit of food on some tanks recently, and, you know... It makes a huge difference. I mean, it just makes your tanks 10% better. It's a massive difference, and I like it. The problem is, it's a bit expensive. And by a bit expensive, I mean it's really, really, really expensive. And so, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I do want to show you something, though. Swedish. Tier 7 medium. Behold. It is on the list. It is on the list as another tank marked. It took about 7 hours the day before yesterday of going up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And then, well, probably like 6, honestly. 5.5, 6 maybe, of just going up and down, up and down. And then yesterday... 2 battles in the morning, 4,000 combined in the first one, 3.5, 4,000 combined in the second one. Done. Whew, man, that was crazy. I want to give a shout out to a particular Barask player who I've thanked him after the battle. He spotted the enemies and let me have an amazing game. And due to his positioning, I was also able to be, towards the end of the game, a little bit more aggressive and pick up a few extra shots, and I got... to how much did I get to? It's like 80-something%, right? Yeah, exactly 85.05%. So yeah, it was tough as nails, man. It was a very tough battle, but that allowed me to get to the UDES 03, which I'm not going to be playing in a while, at least for the channel, because the tank's completely stock. But it's a very fun tank. Siege mode is the first tank I have that uses Siege mode, although I did play with a different type of UDES for some special event. So I know how they work, but yeah, like Siege mode is very fun to use. It's a pure tank destroyer and, you know, just camp in bush at the red line, and yeah, it's I like it a heck of a lot more than that box on tracks with a cannon sticking out of it. Yeah. Anyways, 2.5 damage. I needed 1 more shot. Could you believe that? I needed 1 more shot. This sort of stuff is what infuriates me. This is the 3rd battle that I needed just 1 extra shot to be top on damage. But I think the concept is definitely a tank that can make this work. The problem is, as you can see, I have already 3,000 base XP, 1 out of 30 for the skill thing. So, yeah. Anyways, the hope is to get Stage 9 done today, and also start on Stage 10, and then tomorrow grind the hell out of Stage 10. The problem is, I think I'm going to be very burnt out. I think I'm going to be very burnt out by the end of Stage 10, and I think I'm going to be rewarded with a tank I don't really like. That being the Grom, which... statistically speaking, the Grom's doing pretty good, actually. I think someone made a Reddit post today where a fair bit of people that were going to do the marathon finished it already. Those people also had were on vacation or did not have real jobs. Of course, I say that jokingly and facetiously, quote-unquote, real jobs. And then if you don't, you know, if you're new around here, the joke is I don't have a real job, quote-unquote, either. I work, I don't have working hours, right? I mean, officially I do, but in reality, I need to do stuff on a yearly basis, and how and when I choose to do it is up to me. I don't go to an office, I don't have a 9 to 5, and so on and so forth. So it's a joke. It's a joke at my own expense, is what I'm trying to say. I'm not insulting anyone, but yeah, most of the streamers and content creators and people that just, you know, had time to dedicate 10 days to this game finished the marathon already. I took you through how I did things, and there were a couple of days where I couldn't play for job-related reasons. Unfortunately, the timing of this marathon and my work was how should I put this? Unfortunately linked together, or made things a little bit more complicated, because I had some very important things to write, some articles and stuff like that for a thing, and yeah. Also wasn't sure whether I'll be able to play this weekend or not, so kind of made the motivation to do a little bit extra every day kind of, wane, I guess. But anywho, not complaining anymore. Wanted to talk about that. Wanted to talk about, my progress with the IKV. It was frustrating as hell. One of the more frustrating marks. Not necessarily the most difficult that I tried, or that I... What a shot. That I tried or that I ever did, but it was just frustrating due to the way the tank plays. You have no flexibility whatsoever. You cannot go forwards at all. And that made it so you can't chase damage towards the end of the game, and you can't really do much to influence battles either. You just play the hand that you're dealt with. That you're dealt. You just play with that hand, and that's all. There's really very little you can do. And that's a bit of a problem, right? Plus, I haven't played Tank Destroyers in a while, and I feel like ever since I've gotten back into the game, I had to relearn a lot of the positioning play, right? Like, where do I go in a Tank Destroyer? Where do I go in a medium tank in this situation? Where do I go in that situation, Had to learn to look at the map a bit more as well, because that's not a great shot, but kind of difficult to see at this angle. Where do I go in this situation? Where do I go in that situation? Where do I, how do I react when we lose this part of the map? How do I react to, the enemy not being in their typical positions, and so on and so forth? I know the generally the directions of where heavies, where mediums go. He says playing in a Tank Destroyer spot with a concept, but the reason is this thing is only really effective hold down and peeking over ridge lines, because if you try and play this in a flat area, you're not going to have a lot of fun. Plus, spotting-wise, it can, although that's mostly down to the crew and stuff like that, but spotting-wise, it can also be pretty interesting. And so, yeah, that was... all sort of things you need to keep in mind. I feel like I'm learning a lot of the game still. And I feel like I'm having to relearn a lot of things as I play, because it's been a while, and now, to be honest, some of the maps were changed and redesigned as well, and that didn't really, I was going to say didn't really help. It did, because I think a lot of the maps are a lot better now, but well, you get the idea, and it didn't really help for the ease of marking and stuff like that. This is not going to be a top damage battle. I took way too long to get some of the shots in and to get into some of the positions, but I also feel like it's not going to be a bad battle either. I can get spotting damage. I can like go charging down there and get some spotting damage probably. Although I get the feeling this is also not a bad time to be a little bit patient. 183. Let that WZ go forwards. Yeah. Really? Yeah, shoot at me, not the WZ. Oh, okay. Good luck with that. Oof. Well, I'm getting tons of spotting damage and assisting damage, and all that nonsense. Unfortunately, that's not what I need. It's raw damage. Now, what would make this challenge a heck of a lot easier? A Gorilla 15 or a WZ or, fuck, probably an FV as well, right? Although I feel like a Concept should be a nice second choice for those tanks as well, given its style of play and its, well, generally just how powerful it is. Kind of wish the enemies would stop peeking here. I mean, there was 4 of them and they all peeked the same position, and yeah, would have made things a little bit more doable, I guess, for me if they didn't peek out in front of literally all of the enemy guns, but yeah, the way things are, what can you do about it? Anywho, that's it for today. Food, yes. Well, actually, we might want to do one more battle, right? We can make a video shorter because it's just a recap of the previous day. I don't have most of the live stuff. But, yeah, I mean, it wasn't frustrating on the one hand. I got really angry by like, the last few battles yesterday. But other than that, it wasn't super frustrating. It was just all right. I will mention one thing, though, I've noticed. I think I've gone about this the wrong way. The marathon, especially yesterday. I feel like yesterday I cut myself short of like 30% experience, base XP, at least. And considering how many battles I played, it's a significant number. And the reason I'm saying that is because I've been playing mostly Tier 7 tank destroyers, the American and the Swedish one, and I marked the American and the Swedish one. Sorry, I marked the Swedish one, I'm close to marking the American one. And it was fun, it's good, you get high damage games and stuff like that. The damage doesn't matter for the skill missions, because it's only Tier 9 and 10, and the base XP is significantly lower than what I get on average from Tier 9 and Tier 10 games. With something like the Concept, the Standard B, the Skoda, the T10, the Object 277, you know, any of the Object 140, any of the tanks that I usually play, any of my favourite higher tier tanks. Although I've been having a bit of an argument with the Skoda recently. I can't hit shite with it, and it's an autoloader, so, you know, you miss 2 out of 3 shots on it, and all of a sudden it's not so great as a tank. Stupid, I should have gone around, but I decided to, that could have been interesting. Should have gone around, but I saw that the 2 guys are going to be there, and these guys are probably not going to make it across, so someone needs to be here. Anyways, yeah, it was amusing, to sort of realize that towards the end of the whole escapade, shall we call it, because yeah, it's what a way to find out that you've sort of sold yourself short, I guess, of the whole marathon and challenge and everything you're trying to do by, in a manner of speaking, doing it incorrectly. Yeah. Concept is an amazing tank, by the way, if you just play it right. It's a very difficult tank to play. Is it better than your average Tier 9 heavy tank? Probably, but is it better than an IS-7 or an Object 257 or you know, an IS-4? I realize those are Tier 10 tanks, but this is sort of a Tier 10 vehicle, let's be honest. They're placed at Tier 9 and then given, you know, some leeway, shall we say, in terms of its rating and tier. For a newer player, I don't think so. I still think IS-7 is king for newer players, because it's just foolproof, right? You have so much flexibility, and you have so much... Okay. You have so much in the way of what the tank allows you to do, and how little you get punished for some mistakes. With this tank, I mean, great penetration, great armor, solid gun, very, very accurate. All of those things are good. Angled it. Oh no. Oh no, I saw death. I stared death in the face. I had no idea he was there. I wouldn't have peeked like that. I thought the FV was like somewhere back here or over there. I had no idea. Oh god. Well, what a way to end the video, right? Yeah, that's not fun. Food, on the other hand. I used it with the Swedish TD, I used it with the American TD. I'm not using it on the concept because I'm trying to make some money with it. Because I've noticed that, 20,000 for each unit of food or each extra ration is a lot. It is, in fact, quite a lot. And I'm not the best when it comes to making each and every battle worth it. Inevitably, what you see on YouTube is going to be a little bit skewed in my favor, because it's going to go through some vetting, right? And it's true with every YouTuber, even the ones that just do live battles for a living. There's always the option that they cut out the first one, or the first 3, or the first 10. And so, yeah, or just, played all day and showed you the best 3 battles, and just not in replays. And I know YouTubers to do that, and that's fine. That's how you're supposed to do it if you're making content about a particular tank in terms of a review or a showcase of something. Me, I'm just documenting the Grom Marathon, so I'm not really paying that much attention to the kinds of battles I present you with, ergo the previous one, right? But also, even I sometimes think, yeah, let's not put this up on YouTube, let's re-record this. And yeah, so that's just normal. So what I'm saying is, I'm not the best at making each and every battle worth it, and each and every battle matter. Sometimes I do something incredibly stupid, like the previous battle, although to my defense, it was an FV that I didn't know was there. I don't think, in retrospect, given the how passive the situation was, and the fact that I'm chasing damage, I should have knocked that tree over a slightly different way, but it doesn't matter. Given the fact that I'm chasing damage and stuff, I don't think that would have changed things that much if I had to redo it and then still didn't know that the FV was there. But anywho, why am I saying all of this? Well, it makes using food feel a little bit expensive, more so than anything else. Kind of like you're wasting it in certain battles, but also a bit expensive. And so I'll see what I'm going to do about it. I know that eventually we're going to have a sale for food, and it's going to be 10,000 each. And on that sale, I don't need to buy anything. Well, not strictly true, but I don't need to buy equipment. I don't need to buy tanks, like, not really. I could buy small consumables. Bad shot by me. I could buy small consumables like repair kits and med kits, and I probably will. Although I have thousands. I think I have like 6,000 or 7,000 of each. Because I spent millions on that in the last shop thing. Oh, there's another FV. Chance for vengeance, I suppose, in a significantly lighter tank juggernaut. Haven't thought about it like that. No, you mention it. Oh, Lion's gonna roar no more. Wonder if I can get in here and spot stuff, because that Grom's never going forwards. The FV is, well, he's in a position, definitely. What kind of position, I suppose, is a bit more of a question, unless the Grom does decide to go forward, or the enemy pushes that way. It's a tough call to make. I think I go forwards with the K91. And then turn my attention this way. Voice crack, sorry. It was very early in the morning. I haven't had anything to eat or drink yet. Just woke up and decided to get this video over with, and then for the rest of the day, record how I'm going to grind stages 9 and hopefully enter stage 10, right? That's a problem now. That's a big problem now, if I can't. Yikes. Okay. Back into my hidey hole, I suppose. Try and push out the right side, and then turn back and defend the base. Okay, I'm gonna fight the Patriot. Patriot's not gonna fight me, though. And that is most definitely a problem. Okay, Leo's here. Leo's gone. Man, the enemies are doing everything correctly. They're doing absolutely everything right. That's a significant issue. Sod me, look at that. Been dragged out of my hidey hole. Well, there's plenty of tanks to shoot. The only problem is they tend to shoot back, yeah? They tend to... Really? A bounce like that? Man of my caliber? A low roll, probably, on the VK. That's about all I'm going to get done. Lit me on fire too at the end. Yeah, fair enough. For 1 HP worth of damage. I spotted the hell out of everyone. Unfortunately, there was nobody to shoot at the end, but 3.2, with the FV getting one more shot in, probably not. Although, the enemies are kind of low on HP. Who knows? Who knows? Anyways, that's going to be about it, ladies and gentlemen, for this video. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see how the rest of the day goes, but so far... Previous one was alright, win ratio was alright, and I think the fact that I'm playing really good tier 9 and 10 tanks is going to make things significantly more fun. I was also thinking about marking the Indian Panzer today, like buying food for it, or just using food for it, because I have tons of chocolate. Well, tons, I have like 80 or something. In fact, let me check. How much do I have? Yeah, 6 combat rations for the Americans. If I go over to store... Or it's not in store, it's in depot, right? By the way, there's no daily gift here. I was told that if you use a premium account and you go down to the bottom of the, best featured thing, you get a free gift. Maybe back in the day, not anymore. Yeah. Anywho, go over into the depot. Or depot, whichever. Do I have any more of these? Yeah, I have 12 of these. I think these are the last ones I can get. And I don't really care about any of these tanks, so I'm just going to grab the... Oh, expires after 7 days. 50% XP, 200 crew XP. Free XP for 1 hour. Expires after 7 days. I'm going to get one of these. I'm going to get... one of these, I think, and then another one of these, because I'm just going to sell them, so I'm just going to get credits out of them. This I'm going to use at some point. It's just experience, so I'm thinking I might want to use it for when I'm grinding the stock grind on the IKV. Although, sorry, the STRV. Yeah. impressive collection of 3D skins. Boosters, tanks, consumables is here, right? Yeah. So, 35 cases of cola, 6, 1, 41, 27, 8, 8. Each nation gets its own, so it's not that bad, but I would like to have a couple of thousand of each, right? And so what I was thinking is I'm going to grind food, or rather I'm going to grind credits to buy food for the winter and then the Christmas event and stuff. Put on boosters, put on my favourite tier 8 premiums, and just grind away every day. Not this much, though, but like 20 battles a day, I think I can manage relatively easily. Except on the weekends, because, you know, work-related stuff. I don't know how busy I'm going to be. Although I reckon I'm not going to be that busy for the holidays, but, I don't know. It's going to be a little bit of a hectic year, probably, up until June. Starting from, like, November-ish. So yeah, we'll see, but that's kind of what I'm hoping for. And then when the holidays end, when we get the sale for equipment and stuff, just because inevitably Wargaming is going to try and bleed out the earned gold and credits and stuff like that in the following months. We're also probably going to have like black markets and stuff, but those are usually really not worth it. And so yeah, that's kind of the long-term plan for the game. Start using food after the holidays. Until then, just occasionally on some tanks. Most of the time, no, though, still, because 20,000's a bit much for my taste. I don't like wasting, like, 30,000, 40,000 credits at the end of the battle. I do that sometimes if I fire an inordinate amount of gold already, and so imagine that, okay, I'm going to be a little bit more cautious about that. I'm going to fire less. I'm not going to fire gold when I don't absolutely need to, but what about, what about the other 30,000 that I'm still going to lose, or the other 20,000 I'm still going to lose on food? It's, yeah, well, it's not the best, shall we say. Anywho, another good position for the concept. It's not going to be a particularly fun battle to watch, because I'm just going to, most of the time just sit here and do this, and yeah. Really? Alright, fine. Okay, game, okay, you let me hit some amazing shots previously, for content and all that good stuff. Now it's gonna be the opposite. Fine. Fine. I'll work with you still. Anywho, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you very much for watching, and I guess I will talk to you in the evening, or maybe tomorrow morning, for the update on how stages 9 to 10 are going to go, and whether they're going to go through, whether they're going to get done or not. See you then. Have fun. Take care. Bye-bye.